Alright guys, so Barcelona ties against Espanyol 2-2. So in this game, we did start with horrible defending. I don't know if it was because we just came back from winter break. We looked slow, we lacked rhythm every time we were getting the ball. And when you lack rhythm, you tend to act really slow. And that is what led to the goal on the 23rd minute. Espanyol got rewarded a free kick. And so when they centered that, the guy who scored was David Lopez. He scored a header in the box and he wasn't marked by anyone. Not one man was marking him. And if we look in the picture here, when he touched the ball with his head, if you look around on who's around him, there was no Rakitic, there was no Lenglet or Piquet. They were there in the box, but they were not there to mark him, and that is because there is no organization in the box. The players, our defense, just don't know who to mark. After the goal throughout the first half, we couldn't react. We didn't do anything. We acted as if we weren't 1-0 down. Now, could it be because we just came back from winter break? I have no idea, but that shouldn't be an excuse because at the end of the day, this is a derby and we have to win this game. We have to show up, and Barcelona was not doing that in the first half. Rakitic was providing nothing in the game. If he was not going to score for us, at least defend, and he didn't do either of those. And Rakitic did not play bad, but when you are a Barcelona midfielder, you are expected to like either score or defend well or play well, and he did not do any of those, and so that's why he got subbed off. He was just there just to be there. And since we're talking about wasted players, this also leads me to Griezmann. Griezmann was not seen throughout the whole game. Was it Griezmann's fault? No, I don't think so, and let me tell you why. Because he wasn't even in the attacking plans in the first place. Barcelona's attacking options came down to two options. So the first one was Barcelona's main attack came from the right side, which involved Messi, Suarez, and Sergio Roberto. Their second option for attack was on the left side, which involved Suarez, Jong, and Jordi Alba. That means Jong was always looking for a through ball for Suarez, and when Jordi Alba received the ball on the final third, he always looked for that cross for Luis Suarez, which means that Griezmann was completely ignored on that left side. And that was just their game. That was Valverde's game. It was not Griezmann's fault. It was just Valverde's tactics that didn't allow Griezmann to get his opportunity. But look, the job of a coach, a world-class coach, is to utilize your star players the best way you can. And Barcelona paid 110 million for a player who only created one chance against Espanyol and took one shot in the game. Griezmann actually only had like about 49 touches, and just to give you guys a perspective on how bad that is, Neto, our goalkeeper, he had a total of 43 touches. So Neto, the goalkeeper, had almost as many touches as Griezmann, which is bad. So in the second half, we needed someone who can provide threat in the box, and so that's why Valverde put in Vidal for Rakitic. Rakitic just had to get out. He wasn't doing anything. He wasn't involved in anything, so it was really smart for Valverde to put in Vidal for Rakitic. And that is why I have like a love and hate relationship with Valverde. It's because he does something bad at first but then fixes it later. So I'm very back and forth with Valverde. So immediately after Vidal came in, the game changed. The game looked a lot quicker. We looked a lot quicker. Then came Suarez's goal on the 50th minute. When Suarez scored that goal in the 50th minute, if you look back at it, you can see what I mean when Griezmann is being ignored in the game. If we look at the goal, you can see that Jordi Alba took the ball up, he centered it and gave it to Suarez. And then once Suarez got it, he scored that goal, and look where Griezmann is at. He's just there in the corner of the pitch, in the corner on the left side, not doing anything, involved in nothing. And so that's a wasted player. That's what I mean. He is always overlooked. He's skipped. It's like he's not even there. And Suarez is doing Griezmann's job and his own job. And that goal that Suarez scored was a very tough goal to score for anyone, because he really needed to know what angle and what position to put himself in to put the ball in the net. And it's not just about positioning yourself well, but also how to place your feet correctly. And so that's why I give a lot of credit to Suarez for scoring that goal. That reminded me of like how Brazilian Ronaldo used to score. So I give props to Suarez for that goal. And when Suarez scored that goal, you can see that Barcelona started to build momentum throughout the game. Like we started going up, we started actually creating something. And that is one of Barcelona's strengths, which is to read the game, understand your opponent, know what the opponent's weaknesses are, and find solutions. Barcelona is amazing at that, but the problem is that we find that way too late. And that is what has been saving Barcelona throughout this whole season, which is like the experience and reading the game. So after that, Vidal did score 9 minutes after with a brilliant header and was assisted by Luis Suarez. But then this is where things went downhill. On the 75th minute, Jong received his first red card for FC Barcelona, which not only did affect Jong, but it affected Barcelona's game plan. As soon as we started to build momentum, we went right back down. De Jong's red card changed everything and changed Barcelona's game plan in the match. And I noticed three things, or like three situations that happened when De Jong left the pitch. And my number one is Ansu Fati could not come in. We saw him warm up. He was getting ready. He was ready to come in for Griezmann, so we can hopefully see Ansu Fati score. But since we ended up having only 10 men because of the red card, Ansu Fati could not come in. We had to quickly transition into another game plan. So instead of Ansu Fati coming in for Griezmann, Semedo came in for Griezmann, and we switched into a 4-3-2, meaning that we had to bring Sergio Roberto in the mid and put Semedo as our right back. And that changed everything. And let me tell you why. This leads me to the second key point, which is after that, we were slow and lacked quick transition to attack. When you have a midfield of Sergio Roberto, Busquets, and Vidal, you're not going to go nowhere. None of those players can bring the ball up quick up on the pitch to attack. The best one that can do that is De Jong, and he wasn't there. Throughout the second half, Messi and Suarez depended on the midfield to find them in order for them to complete the attack, but it never happened in those last 15 minutes. That is what leads me to my third key point, which is because of that, we lacked ball retention in the midfield. And ball retention is when you're keeping the ball, you're playing with the ball, you're looking for the attack, you're looking for the attacking front three to see if you can make a decisive pass. But we couldn't do that without Frankie de Jong. And because of that, because we couldn't have ball retention, we lost possession in the midfield. And because we lost possession in the midfield, Espanyol took advantage of that. And that is what led to the second goal for Espanyol. Espanyol knew and they saw that we couldn't control the mid at all. And so they took advantage of that and started to create in the middle of the field. And that is how they scored that second goal, because Espanyol made a brilliant through ball and passed it to Espanyol's forward, and he scored the goal. And that second goal only happened because we allowed them to. We allowed them to do that. Even though Neto did save us earlier in the game, what really pissed me off is that Neto couldn't save that second goal, because if he stretched just a little bit more and tried to reach for that ball, he would have saved that second goal, but he couldn't. And that is why I miss Ter Stegen, because Ter Stegen is amazing at doing stuff like that. His reflexes are top notch, and Neto couldn't do that. I feel like the only reason why that goal happened was because of the mistake of Neto and his lack of reflexes. So look, overall, throughout this game, we did improve in the second half. I was happy to see that. Barcelona improved, Espanyol didn't. We showed up. We did try to fix the problems and find solutions, but it was Barcelona's unluck that cost us, and it's very unfortunate that we couldn't get this win. But that is how football is. That is how it's been over the past 100 years, and that is how it's always going to be. We just need to continue to move forward and improve our game. I'm not mad. This wasn't Valverde's fault completely, because we made that tactical switch in the second half. It wasn't completely his fault. It was just De Jong's red card that really put us down and switched everything up. So don't blame Valverde completely. It was part his fault, but it wasn't fully, because the only reason why we did react in the second half was because of Valverde. And even though we did get a red card and we did play with 10 men, Valverde still tried to go with a more defensive approach because we had no other option. But again, it was still unfortunate that we got scored on, and so I appreciate that Valverde tried to fix that, but we couldn't. So if there was any highlights that we had in this match, one of them has to be Luis Suarez. He continues to play amazing. He played 17 games, scored 11 goals, and has 7 assists so far this season. Another player I want to point out is Vidal. Vidal has played 15 games, scored 6 goals, and 3 goals coming off from the bench. And we do have a few words from Luis Suarez after the game, and this is what he said. With a man down, it's difficult. The opponent knows it, but this is not an excuse. We are the leaders. We leave with the feeling that we lost 2 points. The sensation is that we can improve ahead of the Supercopa. We will wait a few nice days where we can get a new title. Then Valverde also spoke after the game, and this is what he said. Frankie's red card has done us a lot of damage. We have not been able to score a third. This is football. It cost us. It cost us the whole world. It was a derby with a lot of tension. When you draw in the final minute of the game, it feels like a loss. And for Espanyol, it will feel like a win. And so where does this leave us in the league table? And if we look at the table here, we are still tied with Real Madrid with 40 points. We are only beating Real Madrid because of goal difference. Real Madrid did win 3-0 against Getafe earlier, and so that's why we are still tied with them with 40 points. And so we continue to battle with Real Madrid. I feel like this is going to keep going on until the end of the season. And I believe that I'm going to make an early prediction. I think the league title is going to be decided when we play the second Clásico this season, which will be at the Bernabeu. So we got to watch out for that game. Our next game will not be a La Liga game also. It will be a Super Cup game against Atletico Madrid at the King Abdullah Sports City, which I believe it's in Saudi Arabia. It's going to be a semi-final game. So it's going to be very important like every title. So again, it's very unfortunate that we couldn't get the 3 points, but we just need to find the rhythm and continue to improve. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Let me know what you guys think of this game. And if there's any problems that you think Barcelona needs to fix from this game, let me know in the comment sections down below. And I'll see you guys next time.